Okay, so level 4s is solving a system with one linear and one quadratic. So before we did 2 linears and we talked 3 ways to solve that. We solved it graphing and the solutions were where they intersected. We figured out by elimination. We multiplied both equations by something and got a variable to cancel out. And then we also talked about substitution. So I'm going to show you both ways to go ahead and do this. It's going to be graphically, and then probably by substitution, I think, is the easiest way. So if we graph this, we want to graph both of these equations. So let's work with the bottom one here first. Y equals negative x minus 6. So that's going to mean starting at negative 6 and then using your slope. So going down 1 and over 1. Or up 1 and left 1. I'm just going to keep on going until I run out of graph. Okay. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to graph the next one, okay, the quadratic one. And the way you do that is the same way that you have been doing in level 2s and 3s. So this one is in standard form. So I'm going to find the vertex. It's going to be the opposite of b, so 2 over 2 times 1. It just equals 1. I'm going to plug this back in. So the vertex is going to be at 1, negative 9. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and find the x-intercepts and the y-intercept as well. So x-intercept, so y equals 0, so that's 0 equals x squared, it's 2x minus 8. So my intercepts are at 4, 0, and negative 2, 0. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and find my y-intercept as well. So this is where x equals 0. So because that's up 1 and right 1, this is up 1 and right 1 as well. Okay, so we want to count our intersections. Got 1 there, got 1 there. So you got 2, 0, and negative 1, negative 5. So let's see what happens when we solve this algebraically. So if I solve this algebraically, I'm going to solve by substitution, I think. Because both of these equal y, I'm going to set them equal to each other. Get everything to one side to equal 0, so you can factor it. Then you can solve for x. So you can see that I'm on the right track so far because I got x equals 2 and x equals negative 1. And and those are my two x values that I got when I was graphing it. So now in order to figure out what the y values are, you're going to plug that back into your equation. Either one. I prefer the second one because it's a little bit easier. And now that I just did that, I realize I made a mistake when I said these points. So this point, negative 2, 0, is not 2, 0. It's 2, negative 8. My fault. So it's just a good way to check your work and make sure that you plotted the points correctly and answered the question. So sorry about that. I totally messed that up. But that point is at 2, negative 8. And just because I did the algebraic way, I figured out my mistake. So when I plugged in 2, I got y to equal negative 8, so I know what one solution is going to be at 2 and one solution is going to be at negative 1, and their corresponding y values are going to be at negative 8 and negative 5. So two ways to do this, and both ways turned out just fine, so it's whatever you prefer.